if something happens to the president, the vice president, no matter what, is the one that takes over. Does anybody know who takes over if something happens to the president?
My name is Kimberly Massicotte. I teach U.S. History at John Marshall High School to 11th graders. We moved to Oklahoma a few years ago, and I just decided that teaching was where I needed to be after certain instances that I had experienced in the Navy. I was in the Navy for 7 years, and I loved every minute of it, but there got to a point where I needed to move on, so I decided to go to school and get my career in teaching. It was just something, I think it was just a calling. It's interesting, there's never a dull moment. I like that. It keeps me on my toes, and there's never a boring day. And there's some days where it's really difficult, and then there's other days where the kids remind you of why you're there in the first place. The last couple of groups that I've had the last couple of years have been just remarkable, and they're just fabulous. They don't have the best reputation, unfortunately, and I really wish they did, because they don't deserve the reputation that they have. And they're good kids. History in general, I think, can be kind of a boring subject sometimes, depending on how it's taught. So the rapport that the kids and I had, and the way that I go about teaching it with a lot of interaction and a lot of discussion and PowerPoints and video clips and stuff like that, I think I make it more interesting for them so they enjoy going to history class. Yesterday I sat down at my desk and there was a little note on my desk saying, "I love you." It's just those little moments that all add up. There was one student of ours that we worked for the ASVAB scores, and he was struggling with that, and all he had ever wanted to be was a Marine. And we had to work a lot on the ASVAB scores, and when he finally passed the ASVAB and got into the Marines and he came back in his uniform, that made me cry, because he just looked so handsome and he was so proud, and he finally achieved what he wanted to achieve, and I was a part of that, and that made me just feel really proud too. I knew I would have some kind of attachment to them, but not to the extent that I do. I hear from students, they come and visit all the time. It's just the relationships that have grown and built over the years that I appreciate tremendously.